Hello everyone, this is Uday Kumar, Assistant Professor of Physics working in Dr. BRR Government College at Cherla. So as you already know, in our previous video lessons, we were dealing with the chapter Digital Electronics, and today we just move on to the remaining topics of the digital electronics. Okay, so now fine. In today's video, we are going to deal the topics of logic gates. Okay, what are logic gates, that we try to understand, and then next, what are the types of logic gates, and in the types of logic gates, in today's video we are only trying to understand what are basic logic gates and what are its types, and then next, after completing the basic logic gates, we also try to understand what are De Morgan's theorems. So these are the topics that we are going to deal today. Okay, fine. So let us move on to our first topic of today's video. So okay, fine. So what are logic gates, so that we try to understand. So a logic gate is an electronic circuit which performs a logical function. Okay, so it's an electronic circuit. Remember, logic gate is an electronic circuit. Okay, it's an electronic circuit which performs a particular logical function. Okay, so based on the performance of the electronic circuit uh, uh, of logical function, they are divided into different types that we discuss in our next slide. Anyway, so a logic gate is an electronic circuit which performs a particular logical function. Okay, so this is the definition of logic gate. So these logic gates will be having, one output. So they will be having one output, but they will be having one or more inputs. So this is what you have to remember. So these things we study in our next slides, in our coming slides. Anyway, so these logic gates will be having one output for sure, but they may have one or more inputs that you have to remember. Okay, and coming to the third point. So these are the building blocks of the digital systems. Okay, so the logic gates are the building blocks of the digital systems. Okay, and then next, they work on the logical algebra developed by George Woolley. Okay, so they work, so that means these logical gates work on the logical algebra developed by George Woolley. So this is just the introduction of logic gates. So what are logic gates? In simple words, the most important things that you need to remember is these 2 points. Okay, what are they? So it's an electronic circuit which performs a logical function, and these logic gates will have one output, but they may have one or more inputs. So these 2 points you need to remember at any cost to understand our next slides, coming slides. Okay, so now let us just move on to our next topic, next slide. So what are basic logic gates? So okay, so in general the logic gates are divided into different types. Okay, so the first one is basic logic gates, and the next one is derived logic gates. So basic logic, that means in today's video we are mainly concentrating on basic logic gates. Okay, so the basic logic gates are of 3 types. Okay, they are OR gate, AND gate, and NOT gate. So these are the 3 gates which in general we call as basic logic gates. Okay, so in today's video we are mainly concentrating on basic logic gates, and there are other types of gates also which we call them as derived logic gates, and these derived logic gates consist NAND gate and NOR gates and so on. Okay, so those gates we discuss in our next videos, coming videos. But in today's video we are only in today's video lesson we will only concentrate on OR gate, AND gate and NOT gate, which we call them as basic logic gates. Okay, fine. So now coming to the OR gate. So what is an OR gate? So that you try to understand. So remember, this OR gate gate's logical function is represented, okay, by addition or plus. So that you have to understand. So OR gate is nothing but addition gate. That means the logical function of the OR gate is addition, and hence we have just written it in a bracket side by it. Okay, you need not write this addition, but just for understanding purpose, we have just mentioned its function, logical function, side by it in a bracket. Okay, what is an OR gate? That you try to understand. So as we already know the definition of the logic gate, so this OR gate will have two inputs and one output for sure. Okay, but it has two inputs. Okay, so that you have to understand. This is the first point. And the next one, so this is the definition of OR gate. Okay, this is the definition of OR gate. So to understand this definition, first of all we have to understand what is OR gate. That we do. So this definition part I will deal at the end of this slide. Okay, so just I'm just not discussing this definition. Once this slide is over, then only I will discuss this definition. So please check it out. So as you already know, this OR gate has two inputs and one output, right? So this is the logical symbol of the OR gate. The circuit symbol of the OR gate is this one. So please check it out. Okay, so the circuit symbol of OR gate is this one, and it has two inputs. So this is one input and this is another input, and this is output. And the input terminals are represented by circles here. It is not necessary. You may represent it with circles or not. Okay, so choice is yours. Similarly here also, to mention the terminals of output, I have mentioned it with circle, but it is not necessary that you have to keep a circle at this position. Okay, so for example, if you want to draw the circuit symbol of OR gate, you may draw like this. Okay, you may draw like this, just like this, not more than that. It has two inputs and one output. Okay, it will be having two inputs and one output, and there is no need of drawing circle here. Only to represent the terminal here, I have drawn with a circle. I have represented the terminal with circle here. Okay, small circle, that's it. Okay, so you may mention these circles or dots or not, so choice is yours. Okay, anyway, it has two inputs and one output, so that you try to get it. So the inputs are denoted or represented by A and B. So here A is one input of the OR gate and B is another input of OR gate, and the output of OR gate is denoted by C, so that you check it out. So the inputs of these OR gates are A and B, and the output of OR gate is C. But this C, I have written it as A plus B, remember. So this A plus B, we call it as logical equation of the OR gate, where that plus is nothing but the logical function of the OR gate. So plus is nothing but the logical function, which we call it as addition, right? So this plus we call it as logical function, and A plus B is nothing but the mathematical representation of the output in terms of inputs. Okay, so this we call it as logical equation. Okay, anyway, this is the logical symbol, and these two are inputs and C is output, and A plus B is the logical equation, and that plus is nothing but the logical function of the OR gate. So this is in simple the representation of OR gate in terms of its circuit symbol and inputs and output terminals. Okay, fine. Now its entire operation can be understood with the help of a truth table. Okay, so that we try to, and remember, you already know that that means what is logic gate, and even in intermediate you have studied all these things. So the basic, that means in detail what is an OR gate and what is AND gate, what is NOT gate, the working of these gates with the help of diodes or transistors, all those things we will understand in some other video. The main concentration of today's video is what is the basic gate, what are the basic gates, and what are its circuit symbols, and then next what are its truth table. So how this OR gate is working, that can be understood with the help of diodes. Okay, and even AND gate, NOT gate, all these gates, their working we can understand with the help of diodes or transistors, and those we do in some other video, not in this video. So in today's video we are only concentrating on the circuit symbol, logical equation, logical function, and truth tables of basic gates. Okay, so fine. So these are the two input terminals A and B, and the output of the OR gate is taken as C. So now its entire operation can be understood with the help of a table which we call it as truth table. Okay, and the truth table will be like this. So serial number, so that means you can give that means a zero potential to both A and B, or high potential to both A and B, and this zero and high, or this low and high potentials can be logically represented by 0 and 1. Okay, you know this one, right? So anyway, in terms of logical representation, the that means the combinations that you can give or apply to these input terminals can be 0 0, 0 1, 1 0, and 1 1. You know this one, right? So that means you can apply zero potentials to both A and B, and you can apply high potentials to both A and B, and you can apply a zero potential to any one of the input terminal and high potential to the other terminal. Okay, so this low potential and high potential are represented logically with 0 and 1. Okay, that's it. Anyway, the possible combinations of potentials that can be applied to A and B are given by this one. So please check it out. So the possible, so obviously 4 possible combinations arises here, 1 2 3 4. So the first combination for all the gates that we are going to discuss in our coming videos, you have to just follow this series only, this order only. Okay, so you can apply zero potential to both A and B, and hence which are denoted by 0 and 0, and you can apply zero potential to terminal A and high potential to B, which are given by 0 and 1. And if you apply high potential to A, which is denoted by 1, and you can apply zero potential to B, which is denoted by 0, and similarly you can apply high potential to both A and B. Okay, so that those are represented by 1 and 1. So when you apply potentials like that to both input terminals A and B, so what may be the output of this OR gate, that you have to understand. Remember, the logical function of this OR gate is nothing but which it is denoted by plus. So that means if any of the input is if any or both of the input is high, the output will be always high. Okay, so why it will be high, that we will understand in some other video, not in today's video. With the help of OR gates, with the help of diodes, you can understand the entire operation or working of this OR gate. That we do in our some other video, not in today's video, but its operation can be represented in detail in a table which we call it as truth table, and its operation is denoted in terms of zeros and ones here. Okay, so what will be the output of this OR gate, that we try to understand here. Okay, so anyway, so this basic gates you already studied in your intermediate, I hope. Okay, so as per my knowledge everyone has studied, but anyway I just tell you that. Okay, so when you apply zero potentials to both A and B, which is denoted by 0 and 0, and the output will be 0. So that is what you have to understand. 0 plus 0 will be 0. So this is the logical function of this OR gate. When you apply zero potentials to both A and B, the output will be 0. So please remember this one, and that 0 is mentioned here. And similarly, if you apply zero potential to terminal A and high potential to terminal B, the output will be high. Okay, the output will be high. So please remember it. So, and similarly, if you apply high potential to A and zero potential to B, and again the output will be high. High means high is denoted by 1, and low means denoted by 0. Okay, it's like a switch. If a switch is on, it's like 1. If switch is off, switch in the sense, you can take even bulb. Okay, if bulb is on, it's like the condition is denoted by 1, and if the bulb is off, it's like the condition is denoted by 0, like that. Okay, so if you apply the high potentials to both A and B, even the output will be high. Okay, that is denoted by, so this we call it as truth table of OR gate. Okay, this entire operation of this OR gate is denoted in terms of a truth table, and that truth table is this one. So if both the inputs are low, output is low. If any one of the input is low, for example, if if B is high and if A is high, that means if any one of the input is low, right? Or if any one of the input is low, that means automatically the other input will be high. And moreover, observe this fourth condition also. If both the inputs are high, then also in these three conditions we are getting the output as high. So this is the operation of OR gate, which is represented in terms of a table which we call it as truth table. So based on this truth table, we can define this OR gate. Okay, so that means the definitions you can write in many ways, but anyway, from this truth table we can define the OR gate as, so observe these outputs. So the output is high in these three cases, right? Let me take a marker now. Where is it? Right. The output is high in these three cases. So when are we going to get the output high here? If any one of the input is high, for example, if B is high or A is high, or if both A and B are high. So based on these conditions, you can define the OR gate. So what will be the OR gate now? So the OR gate is defined as the output is high when either or both of inputs are high. So that means if any one of the input is high or both the inputs are high, then automatically the output of the OR gate will be high. So this becomes the definition of OR gate. Okay, so I hope it is clear. So similarly, we try to understand what is AND gate, and we also try to understand what is NOT gate. Okay, so now coming to the next gate, which is AND gate, and the logical function of that AND gate is multiplication, which is denoted by dot. Okay, so now what is AND gate? So let us try to know what is AND gate. Again, similar to OR gate, it has two inputs and one output, and it is the definition of AND gate. This we try to understand at the end of this slide. Okay, so now this is the circuit symbol of AND gate. This is the circuit symbol. So you may keep these circles, or it is not necessary that you have to keep these circles. You can just write or draw this logic gate like this. Okay, so no need to keep any circle at the beginning and end of the inputs and outputs. So choice is yours. So I am drawing here the circles only to represent the terminals. Okay, that's all. So these circles represent the terminals. So these two are input terminals, 1, 2, and this one is output terminal. Okay, and the inputs are denoted by A and B, taken as A and B, and the output is taken as C. And remember, C is the output of AND gate. In earlier case, C was the output of OR gate, and hence it was written as A plus B. But here, since it is AND gate, whose logical function is multiplication, and mathematically that multiplication is denoted by dot, and hence the mathematical representation of AND gate will be A dot B. Okay, the output of this AND gate is mathematically written by or represented by A dot B. So this we call it as logical equation of the AND gate. So where that dot is called as logical function. I hope it is clear. So fine. So now this the entire operation of this AND gate can be understood with the help of a table which we call it as truth table, and that truth table we try to understand now. And again, I am mentioning here that the operation can be understood with the help of diodes, but that we will try to understand in some other video, not in this video. Okay, so now the truth table for AND gate is denoted by this table, and again, since it has two inputs, the possible combinations of the voltages or potentials that can be given to both input terminals A and B are four combinations. You get four combinations, and they are 0 and 0. So this is the first combination, 0 and 0, and you can give 0 and 1, and you can give 1 and 0, and you can give 1 1. That means the first option includes you can give zero potential to both the input terminals, or coming to the second option, here you are giving zero potential to A and a high potential to B, and here you are giving high potential to A and low potential to B, and here you are giving high potential to both input and output terminals. So when you maintain these potentials to these input terminals, it is found that the output will be like this. So that means if both the input terminals are given a low potential, which are mentioned are represented by 0 and 0, it is found that the output will be 0. And similarly, if 0 is given to A and high is given to B, then also it is found that the output is low. And if you have given high potential to A and low potential to B, then also it is found that the output is 0. And similarly, if you give high potential to both the input terminals, then also it is found that the output is high. So based on this truth table, now you can define the AND gate. So what is AND gate? So now observe this truth table of AND gate. So please check it out. In this table, the output values are given by 0 0 0 and 1. So observe this one. So we are getting 1 only when both the inputs are 1, right? So this definition you can use to define the AND gate. So now from the truth table, it is clear that the output is high only when both the inputs A and B are high. So this becomes the definition of AND gate. Okay, so this is what you have to understand. So AND gate is defined as the gate whose output is high only when both the inputs are high. So this becomes the definition of AND gate. Now you can define it in another way also. So how can you define? So for example, if you observe these zeros, you are getting 0 if any one or both the input terminals are 0, right? So based on this table, you can write the other definition also, which I have not written here. So you can define the AND gate like this also. For example, you can say that the AND gate is the gate which whose output is low when any one or both the input terminals are low. So this also becomes the definition of AND gate, but I am writing the easiest definition here, so that you try to understand here. Okay, anyway, so let us just move on to our next slide, which is okay, this one is also already over. Now coming to this one, the third basic gate is called as NOT gate. Okay, so this the logical function of this NOT gate is bar. Okay, so that you anyway, coming to the definition. So the NOT gate is a coming to the description of NOT gate. So the NOT gate is a single input device. Okay, NOT gate is a single input device. That means it will be having only one input, which produces the state opposite to the input. So that means, as you already know, the output will be always 1 to this these basic gates will be having only one output, as you already know. Similarly, this NOT gate it is something different. In case of OR and AND gates, we were having two inputs, but this NOT gate will be having a single input and also a single output. So this is a NOT gate. Okay, and it's the other name for this NOT gate is an inverter gate. So this device is commonly referred to as inverter. Inverter means what does it means is that what is the meaning of inverter means, whatever the input that you will get an output which is opposite to the input, or which is inverse to the input, and hence we call it as inverter gate. Okay, so that is mentioned here, so please check it out. if the input is high, the output will be low, and if the input is low, the output will be high. So this is you can observe here. So whatever the input that you give, the output will be quite opposite to that, inverse to that. Okay, and hence we call this gate as inverter gate. Now coming to this one, so this is the NOT gate. The circuit symbol of NOT gate is this one, and as I already mentioned earlier, I used to mention represent with circles here to show that they are the terminals, right? So since here there is already that means there will be already one circle here, and hence I just mentioned or represented the terminals with the help of some boxes here, that's it. And it is not necessary to mention the terminals always, please, I am mentioning it again and again. In case of AND gate, in case of OR gate, and in case of NOT gate, it is not necessary to mention the terminals of the gates with circles or boxes. Okay, if you represent, it looks good, otherwise okay, fine, there is no problem. That means I can mention this NOT gate like this also. Okay, it's a triangle, and it has only one input, right? So that you can observe here. So this is one input this gate is having, and also it has one output. Okay, it is not necessary to mention the terminals. Here I have mentioned with boxes, right? Okay, you may mention it with boxes, or you can mention those terminals with circles, or you need not mention it all. So choice is yours. But for sure, in case of NOT gate, there must be a circle which is present in between input and output. So that you have to understand. This circle is compulsory. Okay, this circle is compulsory. So this circle is compulsory, which is in between the input and output. So this is input and this is output, right? So in between the input and output, there must be a circle here. So this is the circuit symbol of NOT gate. Okay, this is the circuit symbol of NOT gate. As usual, as you already know from the definition, it has only one input, okay, and only one output, and those terminals I am mentioning here with boxes or squares. You can keep them in terms of boxes or circles, or you need not keep them, choice is yours. Okay, anyway, so now since it has only one input, the input terminal is denoted by A here. Not necessarily it has to be denoted by A, it can be denoted by B, it can be denoted by C, it can be denoted by D, anything that you want you can. But here I am mentioning the input terminal by A. So if you if you mention the input terminal by A, as usual the output terminal is denoted by C, and the output in terms of input is given by A bar. So please check it out, this bar is mentioned here. So this bar, it's nothing but the complement. Okay, it's also called as complement, or in simple words we can say that it is bar. A bar means inverse of A, that you have to understand. Inverse of A, that means if you give here 0, you get 1, and if you give here 1, and you get 0. So this is what you have to understand. So this bar is called as the logical function of NOT gate. Okay, this is also called as inverting gate. This is what you know, right? So that inversion function is mentioned with the help of bar here, so that you try to get it. And the logical equation is nothing but A bar. The output C is written in terms of input terminals by C is equal to A bar. This A bar is called as the logical function of the NOT gate. Okay, so I hope it is clear. So now since we have only one input terminal, the potential that can be applied to the input can be either low or high, right? So that means you will be having only two options of applying potential to input terminal. So based on those options, you will be again having two outputs here. And those basic operation, the entire operation can be understood with the help of transistors that we try to understand in some other video, but that operation can be represented with the help of a table which we call it as truth table, and the truth table will be like this. Okay, so we will be having only two options. of potential that can be applied to the input terminal. So to input terminal A you can apply either 0 or 1. So if you apply 0, okay, the output will be 1, and if you apply 1, the output will be 0. So this is the truth table of NOT gate. Okay, so that's it. And how do you define a NOT gate? So NOT gate is nothing but a logic gate or circuit or electronic circuit which performs a logical function of inversion. Okay, so that you have to understand. That's all. Okay, fine. So now let us move on to our next topic. As you already know, so in our, that means in today's class, we concentrated what are basic gates. Now you know what are basic gates, right? What are basic gates? And are and not gates. Okay, though their circuit symbol, a logical symbol, also we can also call it as logical symbol, logical function, logical equation, and the truth tables. All those things we try to understand, right? So now coming to our next topic, which is De Morgan's theorem. Okay, so this is De Morgan's theorem that we try to understand here. So what is De Morgan's theorems? Okay, so in general there are two De Morgan's theorems. So this is theorem 2 and this is theorem 1. Okay, so De Morgan's theorems. We just try to understand what is De Morgan's theorem 1 and what is De Morgan's theorem 2. Okay, so now coming to this one. So De Morgan's theorem. So what is theorem 1? De Morgan's theorem 1. Remember, this topic is very important for your board examination. So the complement of sum of two or more variables is equal to the product of complement of those variables. So this is the statement of De Morgan's first theorem. Okay, so the complement is nothing but bar. So please check it out. Sum is nothing but addition. You already know that. Okay, sum is nothing but addition. So this complement represents the NOT gate and the sum represents the OR gate, so that you have to understand. Okay, so the complement of sum of two or more variables. So two or more variables, here the variables are taken by A and B here. So like in our previous topics, previous in the sense in case of OR and NOT gates, the input terminals are taken by A and B, right? So those A and B are called as variables here, that's all. Okay, so the complement of sum of two or more variables is equal to the product of complement of those variables. Okay, so this is the statement of De Morgan's first theorem, and this statement mathematically can be written by A plus B bar is equal to A bar dot B bar. Okay, so now remember this statement, you should be in a situation to write the statements into its into their mathematical forms. So that is the basic thing that you should be able to do. Once you can effectively convert this statement into this mathematical expression, okay, automatically the solution or the proof of this De Morgan's theorem, first theorem, it can be first theorem or second theorem, whatever it may be, they will be very easier. Okay, for convenience let us take the variables. Here I have taken variables, right, as A and B. For convenience I take the variables as C and D now. For example, I have taken two variables. So let us take that I have taken two variables here. Okay, so now please check it out. I am trying to convert this entire statement into mathematical forms. So can you see here, the from here to here, the complement of sum of two or more variables, right? We have this statement. So that means those variables I have taken as C and D. So these are the two variables. So now observe this one. The sum of two or more variables means what? It means that sum is nothing but plus, right? So now this becomes sum of two variables. So from here to here, this statement is converted into mathematical form. So C plus D is nothing but the sum of two variables. So the complement means the bar. So that you have to understand. Okay, let me erase this once again. So I just write the variables as C and D, two variables that I have taken were C and D, right? So now the sum of two variables means C plus D, and the complement of sum of two variables means what? Sum of two variables is C plus D, and complement is nothing but bar, C plus D bar. So C plus D bar is nothing but the complement of sum of two variables. So that you have to understand. Is that clear? Is that fine? So complement. So please check it out. I am writing this statement of this De Morgan's theorem mathematically. The complement means bar. So the complement of sum of two variables. What are those two variables I have taken? C and D. Is equal to. Is equal to means in between you get equal to. The product of. So what do we have now? First product, right? So product of. Product is denoted by dot. So please check it out. The product of complement of the variables. What are the variables here? I have taken C and D, right? So if I have taken the variables as C and D, the complement of variables are nothing but C bar, and the complement of D is nothing but D bar. So that you have to understand. So this becomes De Morgan's first theorem. So now check it out. This is the mathematical expression of De Morgan's first theorem. So the complement of the sum of variables, two variables, is equal to the product of their complements. That's all. The product of their complements. Their complements means what? The product of complement of those variables. So that you have to understand. So if I have taken the variables by C and D, we are getting the De Morgan's first theorem by this formula, right? Mathematical expression. So if you take the variables by A and B, the De Morgan's first theorem mathematically can be written by A plus B bar is equal to A bar dot B bar. So this is what we have to prove. So this is De Morgan's first theorem. Okay. Similarly, okay, the proof part since that means due to time constraint, the entire proof we try to cover it in our next video. But we try to understand the statements of De Morgan's first theorem and De Morgan's second theorem here now. Since we have completed what is De Morgan's first theorem, I hope you are completely understood the statement and its conversion of De Morgan's first theorem into mathematical expression. Similarly, we try to understand the De Morgan's second theorem, that means its statement and its conversion into a mathematical equation, okay, logical equation. So what is De Morgan's second theorem, and the proof part we discuss in our next video. So now coming to the statement of the De Morgan's second theorem. The statement is like that: the complement of product of two or more variables is equal to the sum of the complements of those variables. So that you try to understand. So just whatever the statement that is written over here, so that can be converted easily into mathematical expression. Remember, once you can convert into these mathematical expressions, which we call them as logical equations, the proof part will be very easier. So this conversion is going to be a problem to most of the students, so you have to understand it. Okay, I am erasing everything. So now coming to this one. So let us assume that, let us take the variables. Here it is mentioned by two or more variables, right? So those variables are taken as A and B now. Again, in earlier case, to make you clear, I have taken them as C and D, but here directly let us take the variables as A and B. And is equal to, there is an is equal to, right? So equal to, again the variables are present even on the right hand side, so A and B. Now let us try to implement the complements and sums at their respective positions. So now coming to this one, the complement of, so complement, so here apply complement, the complement of product of two variables. So what is product of two variables? Product of two variables is denoted by A dot B, right? So A dot B is product of variables, and the complement of product of two variables will be equal to A dot B bar. So that you have tried to understand, is equal to, okay. So now E is equal to, what is the right hand side? What you have to prove that? E is equal to the sum of, so now we have sum here, the sum of the complements of the variables, not just the sum of variables. If it is sum of variables, a plus b would be sufficient, but here what is written in the statement, it is equal to the sum of the complements of the variables. So what are the variables? A and b, and sum of the complements of variables means a plus b, sorry, a bar plus b bar. So this is what you have to understand. So I hope it is clear. So the mathematical conversion of the De Morgan's first theorem and second theorem from statement, I hope it is clear. If you want me to repeat that, I will once again repeat it, because the conversion is very important for the derivation or proof part. So once again I am repeating this one, so please check it out. I have taken the variables as a and b here. Okay, so let me do the left hand side. First of all, I have taken a and b. So now what is the statement here? The complement of, so that means the complement of the product of two variables. Product of two variables is written as a dot b. So this becomes the left hand side of De Morgan's second theorem. So the complement of the product of two variables. Okay, the complement of, not two lines here, actually there will be only one line, but it's okay, this is only one line, this is only one bar, it's bar. Okay, so now the complement of the product of two variables is denoted by a dot b bar. So this is equal to, next one is what, this should be equal to sum of, sum means plus complements, sum of complements of variables. What are variables here? A and b. Sum of complements of variables means what? Plus complements means bars, a bar and b bar. So the complement of the product of two variables, the complement of product of two or more variables is equal to the sum of the complements of the variables. So this is the mathematical conversion of the statement of De Morgan's second theorem. I hope the statements are very much clear here. In our next video lesson, we will try to finish it off what we have started today. Of course, we thought of doing the proof part of De Morgan's first and second theorem also, but due to time constraint, I am stopping here, and the proof part we will discuss in our next video. I am stopping here. Thank you.